Blender video tutorial. In the last two videos I showed you how to add some scripts so that you could have a little game where a cube moves around when you press the arrow keys, and in the last video I showed you how to change that cube so it looks a bit like a car. In this final video we're going to make the car look a bit more realistic. We're going to add gravity and we're going to have something where the car can drive around on. So first of all, the car's just one solid colour at the moment, and we need to, it'd be nice to make the wheels at least a different colour. So if we select the car by right clicking on it, press tab to go into edit mode, we want to select the wheels and then make them a different colour. So remember, it's right click to select in Blender, and then you can press Ctrl and L to select all of the faces that are linked to that object. And I'm going to hold down Shift and right click and then Ctrl L, so we've got another wheel selected, and then Shift right click, oops, got the wrong thing selected. Shift right click, Ctrl L. It won't let you right click on something. Sometimes it's useful to do it in wireframe mode, which is when you press Z. So Shift right click, Ctrl L, and then Z to turn off wireframe mode. Okay, so we've got all the wheels selected. On the materials tab, I'm going to press the plus to add a new material and then make a new one down here, and then we want to make a new colour. So click on the diffuse colour and I'll make it black. So we've got red and we've got black, but the wheels haven't changed colour yet, and they won't do until you press assign, and that gets all of the selected faces and then makes them that colour. Okay, I'm going to change the windscreen and the back windscreen as well, so select them, choose your material and then press assign. So you can do this, to make your model as detailed as you like. It's possible to make stuff in Blender look amazing with photorealistic textures, but this is only a really short tutorial to get you started. Okay, so we've got a little car. Now we want the car to be able to drive around on something. So back in object mode rather than edit mode, press Shift and A and add a mesh and a plane. So plane is just like a piece of paper. We want to scale it up, so I'll press S for scale and let go, and then move your mouse away from the middle until it's nice and big. Okay, so I want the car to be on top of that plane, so right click to select the car and drag it up on the Z axis or the blue line, and let's make this plane a bit hilly, a bit wobbly. So if we go into edit mode with the plane selected, so right click on it, press tab and then W on the keyboard and subdivide, that splits the piece of paper up into 4 pieces of paper. And if we on the left hand side of the screen turn the number of cuts up, then we can split it up into like 100 different pieces of paper if we go for 10 cuts. Okay, so back into object mode by pressing tab, we want to be able to make this plane wobbly, quite hilly. So I'm going to click on the modifiers tab, that's this spanner, add a modifier and a displace modifier, which is this one just here. And you'll see now that all of the plane moves up or down, and you can choose how much it moves up and down on here. I don't want all of the points on the plane to move up by the same amount. I want them to move up by kind of a random amount so it looks a bit hilly. So on the materials tab, let's add a new material and then add a new texture. So click on the textures tab up here, create a new one, and then change the type of texture to clouds. Then when we go back to the modifiers tab, we can choose the texture to be that clouds one, and then each point on that plane is now moving up by the kind of colour on that texture. So this doesn't look much fun to drive around on. We're going to apply a subdivision surface modifier to it as well, so add a new modifier, subdivision surface, to kind of smooth it, and click smooth shading over here. So we've got some hills to drive around on. So I press P, the car can drive, but there's no gravity, it kind of hovers above the terrain. So press escape. We're going to change it so that Blender uses its kind of built-in physics model to work out how gravity works. So right click on your car, and then you're going to need to get to the tab on the far right. So put your mouse over these buttons here and scroll down, click on the physics tab and change the physics type for the car to be dynamic instead of static. And then when you press P now, your car should fall down, and it will drive over your ground. So my car looks far too big. I'm going to press S, scale it down, then press P again, and you've got the start of a little game. So you can change the colour of your terrain, you can add some obstacles, you can draw some buildings, whatever you like, until you're quite happy that you've got your own little 3D game. Have some fun.